Today, on the Tom Kearin Channel, can you manifest immortality? What's possible? I am your host, Tom Kearin, and this is the Tom Kearin Channel and studios of Be Something Wonderful, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, good morning and welcome back to the Tom Kearin Channel and studios of Be Something Wonderful. The question came up, Tom, can you manifest immortality? And what about these spiritual teachers like Neville Goddard, Wayne Dyer dying from some disease, right? Or just spiritual teachers passing away or dying from something or another, and while preaching the idea of immortality. I think one of you on our Facebook group said it that way too, said their promise of immortality. They're dying from diseases regardless of their promise of immortality, right? And I think one of you was saying, what hope do I have if these great consciousness teachers are dying from diseases? What can I do? And I want to talk about this. And then you were saying, maybe there's hope. Maybe there are silent teachers who really are manifesting immortality and we're just not hearing from them. Well, here's the thing. Remember who you are. You're already an immortal being. You didn't come here to manifest immortality. You're already immortal. Think about this. You are, I am, I exist. I am means I existed, I've always existed, and I will always exist. The idea of non-existence doesn't exist. By definition, it doesn't exist. As I've said in a few videos, and I even mentioned it on our video we released on Be Something Wonderful channel this morning, this idea that you can imagine anything. You can even imagine your death transition or your death experience. But you can't imagine, you cannot possibly imagine not existing. Do you see? That's how you know that you're that immortal being and that you're not the death experience. Remember, the idea of the death experience, the physical change, it's a change, as all spiritual teachers have pointed to. Physical death is a change in form. That's what, it's consciousness being conscious of itself from a new vantage point or viewpoint or perspective. It's awareness, being aware of itself from another infinite viewpoint or vantage point or point of view or perspective. That's what it's all about. Remember that the whole idea of that one changeless objective reality that we call God or existence, right? That it always exists, that it's self-existent. What I called it, when I was pointing out in a video a few days ago, that's the true objective reality. Meaning God, all that is, existence, exists apart from your perception or subjective experience of it. Meaning it exists independent, it's self-existence. There's nothing else, it doesn't depend on anything. It's just itself, it exists. And then there's you as that center of that existence. You being one, not just one with it, but the one, the creator. You're creating an experience to know yourself as that one changeless reality. And how do you know yourself? By change. Change in time and space and all various ideas, infinite ways, infinite perspectives to know yourself. Think of it, its consciousness wouldn't be consciousness unless it was conscious of itself. Awareness wouldn't be awareness unless it was aware of itself from some different perspective or viewpoint. Life, it's the livingness of life. Life isn't life without without the livingness. So to say that someone has to stay in some form and not change, it's just like saying life cannot continue to live. Consciousness can't continue to be conscious of itself. Awareness can't continue to be aware of itself. That's the whole idea. Remember, that one objective reality of God, what we call existence, all that is. It's changeless. It exists apart from any perception or experience or belief that you have of it. But within it is all possibilities, all possible infinite changes or experiences that you can imagine. And that's how it knows itself as all that is. That's how it knows itself as that one life, as that one conscious mind, as that one divine mind. You're the center of all of it. So you're not here to be stagnant, to hang on to any one form. Creation stops and for creation to stop, that would be impossible. So that's the first thing I want to say about that. The other thing, you can't know what other people's or points of consciousness, what their intentions are, the mix of their assumptions and beliefs and so forth. And remember, none of it exists outside of you. So we're not even talking about their experience. You can only know your experience. Your experience is all that is. So that idea that they all drop off, these consciousness teachers are not practicing what they preach or teaching practicing what they teach, that's just an assumption on your part. You're creating that reality. You're creating that experience. That experience, that subjective experience within the one objective reality of all that you are. That's what we meant. Remember, everything is a subjective experience according to your assumptions, beliefs, and definitions of who you are. So if you want to, so the idea of immortality, you're immortal. You're not here to manifest that. You're here to create an experience or express yourself within that immortal idea of who you are, right? All various changes. Even when Scripture talks about the resurrection of Lazarus, right? Jesus, your I am awareness, going to resurrect his friend, bring his friend back to life, right? And again, it's the metaphysical idea of this. But what's notable about that, probably perhaps the most famous and powerful miracle of all the miracles and wonders that were recorded. I think there were about 40 recorded in Scripture. This one was big, apart from Jesus resurrecting himself, right? The idea of that I am awareness. But that's the idea. It's a change in form. Even remember that when the story goes that Jesus waited an extra day. Jesus knew, right? Of course, he's all-knowing. So he knew anyway, right? He waited a day, right? He knew Lazarus was sick, but he didn't leave right away, right? Didn't leave. He waited until that death experience, right? The idea that back then, if you remember, I've told this story in other videos, the belief was that the spirit leaves the body after 3 days. So after 3 days, you're not just dead, you're dead, right? Lazarus was dead. 4 days. Even his sister was saying, oh, his body's going to smell. It's going to stink. He's been dead for 4 days, showing that disbelief, right? If you look at the story, right? Because he was dead. Jesus, what was the demonstration? What was the message? To demonstrate the idea of that immortality, the idea that all things are possible with God, with that awareness that you're an immortal being, all things are possible. Waiting a day, right? Not just resurrecting him after 3 days, which he could have, but waiting a day until he was dead. That's a miracle, or that's the idea there, right? That now is demonstrating the immortality. And even in the story, if you notice, it said, Jesus, your I am awareness says, our friend Lazarus is sleeping. And then it goes on, and then just shortly after that, Jesus, as your I am awareness, says Lazarus is dead. Plainly says it, dead. Not sleeping, but dead. The idea of embracing the idea of that duality, that idea of physical death within the immortality or the immortal being that you are. That's what we're talking about. So guys, it's about, remember, you are immortal. You exist and will always exist as that all that isness. But you get to create within that an infinite variety of subjective experiences, of that objective reality, or all that isness that you are. And how do you do that? It's based on your assumptions. That's why the law of assumption is such a powerful teaching by Neville Goddard, which I talked about in the video on the other channel at Be Something Wonderful. You create your experience of that immortal being that you are by your assumptions and definitions and beliefs about who you are. So when you define yourself and assume that you are that immortal being, experiencing yourself from an infinite perspectives and viewpoints and vantage points, having infinite subjective experiences of the ultimate reality that you are, then you're just going to create the physical life of your dreams, no matter what the experiences are. Again, we're sitting there judging that, saying, well, they die from disease, that is bad. Or they live to old age, that is good. Those are all your subjective judgments. You don't, remember, you are all that is. All of those experiences are part of all that you are. So what do? Assume that you are that creator, the creator, that immortal creator that can be, do, or have anything. And then create heaven on earth. Because remember, you don't go anywhere. No one goes anywhere. You're always here and now, forevermore, as that I am awareness, as that existence. So rather than looking at, I'll have no hope unless I see others do it, know that you are the other, that you are existence, that you are all that is. Do that today. Make your assumptions the biggest, boldest assumptions that you can ever imagine. Right? Assume that you are immortal, because you are. Right? Create that idea, because it's already there. You're just experiencing yourself. You're just remembering that you're that immortal, infinite, limitless being that you are. And then create the physical life of your dreams within that knowing. And know that that the conditions and circumstances are always changing. So even this idea that I think this one particular creator was talking about, Wayne Dyer and Neville Goddard, both of them kind of disappearing, and others, right? Bob Proctor, all of these guys, right? Remember, they didn't go anywhere. It's a change in form. Even the idea of them, every infinite possible age and physical experience and reality already exists. They didn't go anywhere. They lived, all those lives continue to go on. They're still teaching spirituality. They're still teaching consciousness. All of those realities already exist. They're just infinite perspectives or viewpoints. And you're seeing it from one perspective or viewpoint right now. So go. I say go. Pick up your mat and walk, as Jesus commanded the paralyzed man at the pool of Bethesda. Walk in the knowing that you're an immortal being. Walk in the knowing that you're not here to manifest immortality, that you are immortal. That you're not here to manifest that you are limitless, you are limitless. You're here to create an experience within that limitless, immortal being that you are. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and this is the Tom Kearin Channel and studios of Be Something Wonderful, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, thank you. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for just being with us on the new channel, as well as continuing to watch us on the Be Something Wonderful YouTube channel. We also have a live stream this Sunday, our first live event of the year. And it's going to be Sunday, January 26, 2025 at 12 noon time, Pacific time. Right here in the studios at Be Something Wonderful. I'm going to answer your questions live during the live stream. It's always a lot of fun. If you're a member, join us. If you're not, just check out the link below. Creators with great love, with great light and infinite gratitude. This is Tom Kearin here on the Tom Kearin Channel in the studios of Be Something Wonderful. Until next time, we'll see you soon.